Okay, so to finish off this horribly twisted month with the Renounced Darkness, like where I tried every single week. I think every episode I did this month was just to try to see how far can I get with the Renounced. Finally, I can get to Legend with the Renounced because in this format it would at least be better than what I do with it in Wild. But we got screwed by the bug the first time and the last time. And this is kind of like a short month for it because there's no 31st. So next Sunday will be next month and the format will be over, right? I mean, it even says that there's 6 days. And so basically, I'm going to try some of the other fun theme decks, mainly just Iron Juggernaut I want to try. I kind of want to try my my anti-spell stuff. It's kind of the same stuff I do in Wild anyway. It's just like, it's more fun here because it's not as competitive. So there's a lot of fun stuff you could do with it. It's a real shame they don't leave this on for longer. Like, the twist mode should almost last the whole season for each one. Or like how they took a break. Like next month, there won't be any twist. And then the month after that, they'll do the next one. So why not just keep this one going next month too? Doxaron has come to wreak havoc. All games during this event will start with a random effect. What kind of a stupid thing is that? Yeah, as if the random event is not renounced and stuff isn't enough. You're excited to get home and play a lot of games. What do you mean? Oh, like the rating system. I like how you always ask that about every game. Rank every game that you play. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's ever a 10 out of 10, though, because that has to be a higher standard. Maybe Magic the Gathering should be a 10, but I don't know. I haven't played it like enough to really say that. Yeah, we'll make Iron Juggernaut, and I'll try some of my other theme gimmick decks. Basically, my point was I was even trying, like, oh, maybe I'll get to Legend, but I never commit to that unless I'm going to do it for real. But it never gave me the chance, because the first episode, I got screwed by the bug where you get like a Death Knight or a Demon Hunter. Then the second episode I didn't, and I got to like Gold 9, which is okay, and then I was going to keep going. And then the third episode I got screwed by the bug again. So that was like almost the end of the month. Is this the last time you're playing the game? No, it's the last time I'm playing this format though. Because it resets at the end of the month. So it's like some sort of an old school thing. Like, let's just make the most convincing... Oh shit, I should have actually looked at what that was. Let's make the best Iron Juggernaut we can, which theoretically I should be able to put most of the components in there for it. Let's see. Execute is okay. You don't really want too many of these defensive things. Just... Yeah, I don't think I'll ever actually stop doing this at least once a week because I played this pretty much the entire lifespan it's been out, from closed beta in 2013. I guess I took a break for a couple years from like 2016 on, but I've always kind of just played it in some form. Yeah, this is one of my favorite cards in the game. I guess I said Renounce is my favorite card in the game, but this is like my favorite deck probably in the history of the game. Brawl is important, so what you can't do, obviously, is you can't put in Dr. Boom, the hero. When did you delete your chess account? I'll watch the video now. I can link it to you maybe later or something. It was like at the... It would be in yesterday's stream before I started playing Paladin, so it'd be like... I don't know how you actually link a timestamp. I guess this isn't going to be that good because the main thing you obviously want is the... And there's so many cool things I could have tried with this, but I wasted so much time with the Renounced Darkness. That's banned, but these two aren't banned. Like, what's the difference, dude? Why did they split it up like that? What else would I even want in here? Ancient Brewmaster. It's not going to be that good, but then again, what you're going against isn't that good either. I would do all the... Oh, you can do the N'Zoth aspect of it, though. See, that's what I like, too. You have all these death rattles because you can just... And even this isn't bad. You have the death... Even I would do this just for the fun of it. Ooh, we can do Justicar, too, right? I forgot. Yeah, N'Zoth will bring all these back. The only thing you're missing is the Rush, because you don't get the Dr. Boom hero itself. Yeah, we will do N'Zoth with that. So what else could we fit into here? Let's see what else we could even use, theoretically. I don't want too many, like, generic value cards that you could get that don't really have anything to do with the deck, but I guess you kind of have to do that. So you put a couple of these in there, just removal, card draw. That tends to not really be too relevant, though. I don't know. This guy just to kill some time, couple weapons. This isn't a very cohesive thematic deck at all, but you can get those bombs in there. It's very good. Varian Rin. This guy's actually pretty good. for a mere 40 dust. What else would I even want? When you draw this, deal 1 damage to your minions. You gain armor. It's almost taking me back to my Justicar deck, actually. You just need sort of more survivability. Whenever this deals damage, you gain that much armor. The statting on this seems a little better. I can't remember what it used to be. Rush, give a mech something. Mortal Strike is fine. Gain 4 armor. Discover a taunt minion. Is this like a Cavern of Time one, right? Discover a taunt minion, gain an armor equal to its cost. Yeah, we're playing chess pieces even when we're not playing chess. Look at that. If you have a weapon equipped, okay, I don't care about that. War Cache, add a random warrior spell minion and weapon to your hand. Not a bad card, but not really for this. Even here we get to, yeah, warriors do have a lot of chess-inspired pieces. This is actually pretty good. It's just not really the pace I want to play at, but that's almost what I should do. You just play it super slow paced, like have Armor Smith in there, and just try to stack up armor. And if you can just survive long enough, then, you know, you might be able to guarantee the Juggernaut's going to kill them, because it is one of those unpreventable damage type of things, just in the sense that you're able to, whatever, like, if they can't heal but a certain amount, or if they can't gain armor so much, they really can't do anything about it. It's part of the reason why I liked it so much. 31 cards, so what could I get rid of? We have N'Zoth, we have all the Death Rattle stuff. Dr. Boom almost messes it up. You should probably get rid of Mimiron's head, but that's part of the fun, I guess. And it even works with this, even without Thracian. That's what's so good. Right, whereas some of my other Battlecry Brewmaster shit doesn't work like that. All this stuff is good. I can't really decide what to get rid of. Discover a taunt minion. Kind of wish it had taunt itself, though. Thracian, Mimiron's head, Shield Maiden. All this stuff is kind of important. It's not really built around Justicar, but maybe I'll get rid of like 1 cleave, even though that seems like a bad idea. Just because I'm too lazy to really think about it any more deeply, we'll just go with that and just deal with it. The whole point with this is just try to play the Juggernaut, try to flip it back. So many things on Twitch that I don't even know how to do, despite how much I streamed before. I guess that's what I typically do. I kind of just stream, and then I don't care about anything else. I'll just come on, log off. I don't really do all the in-between stuff. Although I should try to learn how to raid people and whatnot. Both players start with cards, so they're going to ruin my last twist day by doing this too, even though I kind of like that. It shouldn't be forced, though. It should be its own sort of format. This isn't even a bad curve if you're just willing to skip turn 3. Maybe a little more defensive-minded than even I thought it would be. Go with 2 cards copied from the other player's hand.
Blessings to you.
Oh, there.
I think I almost had enough to get to the 1000 warrior hero, but I don't even like what it is. It's like the Garrosh corrupted by the old god or whatever. Yeah, let's see how far we can go with this, although it doesn't really even matter. At least this one hopefully isn't going to be bugged out, but I hope I don't eat my words. So it took them like the whole month to fix Renounce. I almost want to try it again just to see if that's going to happen. So either the second episode I just got lucky and it didn't trigger that, or they had fixed it and then they fucked it up again. I don't really get it. I should make a clip out of that too, how I failed chess for good. I'll still do it, but I'll only do it once a week now. I won't do it on Saturday, and I won't do it on even Wednesday. That'll open up another day either for a hard mode or for something else. Let's just try to get these killed off as best I can, because then I'm able to benefit from the Death Rattle effect, which can be really hard to deal with here. I don't even know what a lot of the Cavern of Time cards are, so those are the ones I won't be playing around. If anything sort of catches me off guard. I guess I normally never played it as defensively as this. I would just have all kinds of other stuff too, like Zola the Gorgon and stuff. Oh, maybe I forgot Zola. I can't remember all the neutral cards that we even have in here. It's been so long since I played it. Soul of the Gorgon and what else? Yeah, let's see how close we actually are, too. I'm like 9 something. This person likes to emote a lot. You can't play it as a dead play because you always have to cycle it, right, to really get the value out of it, which is probably not a good way to play, but it's also not a good deck. But this is the best you're ever going to see of V, so we'll speed run through bronze at least. That could be a mistake, but I'm actually kind of okay with it. I'm not going to use the weapon yet. That 1 damage could obviously hurt me sometimes. It'll even kill my Scarab here coming up. I don't want to overcommit to the board. Now is not really the time to play the taunt. Yeah, even the base thing here kind of fits in with the priest because, you know, you're sort of stealing your opponent's cards. This will be useless no matter what. So I guess I could just do this and see what's left over. That maybe wasn't the best. Oh, you found it? Cool.
Brilliant.
Yeah, the guy had like no time left either. I guess I should just leave that around and see what happens. And yeah, I broke my rule if I shouldn't play 2 games in a row if I lose the first one, but I was just getting impatient. I don't really have a good excuse. I mean, it was just a bad... I'm just amazed I can go on such good and bad streaks.
Don't keep your thoughts to yourself.
It wasn't like, oh, I was tilted 1 day and lost. I lost over the course of a lot of different episodes. I still can't flip it back, unfortunately. To try to trade into this, now we can use Cleave, kill the other 2. And then you can do Shield Maiden. It was the quietest time I've ever seen stream. Ironic. What, like I wasn't talking much? I was probably pretty annoyed. No, but I really was trying to push that time to see how far I could go for real, and I guess I couldn't go far enough, so why bother? Okay, Justicar is going to be pretty good too. Actually, really good against a priest. And so my only win condition is the Juggernaut itself. Yeah, I'm not obsessed with chess. Also, even when I'm not playing chess, is that sound except for background? Oh, maybe it was muted too. Oh, did it really mute the... Or no, then it would have muted the music too. That's weird. This is actually okay. I guess I could do the brawl. I didn't realize I'd be using Justicar of all things too. It doesn't really fit with this deck, but just sort of a hodgepodge of everything. I don't win the brawl, but it's not a big deal. I just wasn't talking. Yeah, that was kind of a new strategy I was trying too, so they couldn't stream snipe my brilliant ideas, but it didn't help there at least. It seemed to help overall though, like in general, because it really does save them time calculating at least. And what I noticed in the last several games I played too is they're so goddamn fast. Everybody is just so much faster than me. Like I'm better than them, but they're faster, so it evens out to where I can't do anything. And we're never really going to get value out of the Boomerang's head. That's just there as a troll. A self-troll. We have another brawl. We have the little pawn things. Why don't I remember people using this more, like ever, back in the day? Okay, perfect time to do a brawl. They would never expect me to have another one. Or I don't even really have to still. I mean, I could do it now, but I still won't. Right, like we have enough health. Let's let him really suffer for it. Pretend like I don't have it, so he'll even overcommit more. That's all you could do is play the Juggernaut, and then it'll trigger and kill him almost by itself with the 12 health. But I'm waiting too long because the Brewmasters, who are the star of the show in this deck, aren't coming out. That's really the most important card in this deck. It's not actually the Iron Juggernaut. It's actually both the Brewmasters, all 4 of them. Not like these things count as max, but I mean, this guy is such a clown card. Okay, now we could do it. What if I just tank it and don't even still do it? don't even worry about it. He's not going to kill me, although maybe he will with like inner fire. So he has 10, 12, 13, 14. I just have so much armor, I don't really feel that worried about this. But I should definitely do it now. What? No, I'm still not dead, though. That's the beauty of it. And both of those still survive. Trade in as much as you can. I get as low as I can, but now we're going to be in beautiful shape to do this. Go ahead and do the brawl. Although, I mean, it could still end with something a little bit bad. Like, what if Cthulhu survives? What? Yeah, what if, by the way? Fuck's sake. I guess I waited too long then, even though there were more things on the border. I could have comboed it with my pawn thing. Doesn't mean I'm going to lose, but it is pretty scary. I mean, none of these are going to be taunts. That's really the problem with playing it. You could do this to try to, you know, finish him off with the bombs, which could happen. So you'll hit me for like 8, and I'll have like 10 health. So I'm not going to lose just like that. It's actually still fine. It does something when it dies. Oh, wait. I didn't even know they did that to him. Wait, does that mean that's how he is normally, too? How do I not know it changed to one of my favorite cards in the game? Battle Cry and Death Rattle. What the fuck? And that means he'll come back with N'Zoth, too. When do they make all these random changes? Oh, no, that could be N'Zoth, too. Oh, wow, that totally changes the dynamic of it. I hope that's somehow not just for this mode, either. I mean, you can't survive. That's just a sure thing. You may as well just get him to 10. Which I can't even do.
Well played.
Fuck, I could have flipped it and still done it, but...
Killing spree.
Nothing I do now is going to have any impact at all.
Killing spree.
Just draw the stupid bomb. Fuck. Are you still not worried? Yeah, I guess I should be worried now. I mean, you had a pretty good chance, right? You had 2 of them in there. I guess maybe I held back that brawl too long, but not really. I just got a very unlucky pull from it. Relying on RNG twofold. Okay, we get it. We get it. Although if you troll too much and try to BM, you could still lose to it. These crazy sequences where they'll draw like 5 of them in a row. But I didn't know that that was even in there. Let's see what else goes with this deck. We have Zola the Gorgon. I don't know what you can and can't use. I'm not going to know that off the top of my head. Wild sets, but it's not even wild. You can't use Zola the Gorgon. You can't use... Let's actually look at one of my proper ones here. Execute, Cleave. Oh, yeah, Dry Whisker. But I'm assuming a lot of these you just can't use, period. Or you could even do that just to see it. Yeah, most of this shit is not going to be there. Hold Light Oracle is good because it forces them to draw stuff. Yeah, pretty much everything else is the same. Let's just do, yeah, Iron Jar. Man, when the fuck did they do that now? That I have to know. Iron Juggernaut. Hearthstone. I'm happy with it, actually, but... Add it. It never used to do that. It never even had a death rattle. Why is it not saying that? Was supposed to be revealed. Unique effects. Later believed the cards to be a hoax. Was originally 6/6. With the only one of the 4 to be changed later to 6/5. Change death rattle. New expansion. Bomb synergy. Cameras of Time. I don't know what they're doing. Cameras of Time set. So with this one, they make it so unclear. Even this one says Battle Cry. What's going on? Or is that part of the Yogg thing? Battle Cry and Death Rattle. Set Cameras of Time. It's so unclear how they do this. Well, anyway, I'm happy about it, so we'll be able to use that in the future. But it doesn't even say what patch it was done with. Or yeah, you could do Bran, or no, you can't do Bran. Or wait, why can't I use this even in Wild? Okay, go back to the top. All we have to do is put in the... What was it that I just said? I forgot. You quiz me on American history. Sure. Who was the 4th president? What is all this shit? What was I just looking at? Dry Whisker, Zola. What was it? Yeah, Dr. Boom the Mad Genius is kind of a key, important part of that, though. Why doesn't that show up, actually? I'm curious. Oh, man, can we start easy? Okay, who was the first president? Hearthstone, Iron, Juggernaut, Change, Death Rattle. Dead Man's Iron Juggernaut. Effect is also now a Death Rattle. Battleground Season 5. When does it say that? Battleground Season 5 patch. When was that? Maybe it's been longer than I thought and I just haven't played it in a while. But I played it like a year ago. August 22nd. It was released during Titans. Oh no. How is it only Season 5 for that? Maybe they only do that like once a year or something. George Washington. Okay. What about... I don't know. What year did the Americans join World War II? What the heck did I just look at? Okay, Baleful Banker. Let's just do it again because I can't keep track of anything. Oh yeah, we're looking for Cold Light Oracles, are the only thing I can fit in there that's not in there here. Okay, just do that. And that's good because it obviously forces them to draw into it, but it also helps you get it in the first place. Yeah, we get it. Execute's good, Armor Smith's good, Cleave's good, Shield Block. Shield Block's Arguate, although it only costs 2. They've changed so much shit for like no reason, seemingly. We don't need that, and we don't need that. We'll just deal with that. We did do pretty well with Justicar there, although even though I said it's good against a priest. 1940 attack after attack on Pearl Harbor. Well, yeah, that part I know, but... After the Japanese bombing Pearl Harbor in 1941, so you're a little bit off. Who is Booker Washington? I guess there should be like some title associated with him, like he was the first such and such, but I can't even think of one per se. That would be a good George Washington's dad. That's actually a good trap. It has nothing to do with George Washington, but just because his name is that, you would think. You would think it has something to do with that.
I will fight with honor for Cosmodan!
He was like somebody during segregation who was black who managed to rise like to the elite class and become like wealthy himself because he was so smart. Oh, that's a heck of a card to give me, actually. Oh, so he's doing a bit of a fun deck himself. Each turn this in your hand, transform it into a random minion. You know all... No, I don't know all of them. Or I couldn't really order them. A lot of them don't get talked about that much, actually. Everybody makes fun of George Bush and his dad for being such clowns. Okay, we can do... See, now you almost have to do it as a curvish play, but if you don't, you'll be in trouble. I guess I'll just do that. Why? They're just like both kind of stupid. But his son started the Iraq War. They started a lot of unnecessary wars, and just the way they acted was kind of stupid. Like, if you listen to George Bush talk, like, he just doesn't sound very smart. He would just say dumb things and misspeak a lot. Almost as bad as Joe Biden. Like Trump. I mean, Trump's a loudmouth, but... I actually don't think he's that dumb. It's just that people don't like him. We can go here. No, I don't like him, but I don't get why everybody's so obsessed with him all the time. We can do Death's Bite. I always like to think, like, if I could choose, I would vote for an independent, like neither party, just to, like Jo Jorgensen, who probably nobody even knows who she is. She's like a libertarian, like a third party offshoot. You vote for Sleepy Joe or Orange? Yeah, I voted for neither one.
What? They fell on the truck.
Those are pretty good titles, though.
You gonna sleep with the fishes.
That's the stupidity of why people did it, too. Like, oh, they don't like Trump, so they'll vote for him instead. Jo Jorgensen, she was like she's an independent. Let's see. If you kill this, if a minion has 2 or more, draw a card.
Challenge accepted.
That's fine, I guess. And she got like the record number of votes for an independent, but it was obviously nothing compared to having any real chance of winning. People do it as like a default response, like, oh, they don't like this guy, so just vote for anybody blindly. So then vote for Kanye West then, or vote for... That's such a bad reasoning, I guess, behind it. Okay, so Brawl isn't going to happen. Don't tell me I'm getting a Hardstuck a Bronze 10, even though the Iron Juggernaut's better than traditionally it's been. And I guess I haven't used it in a while. I think the last time I used it was like last year, probably August, before I did my September Legend run, and then after that I was just kind of dicking around with a lot of stuff. I wonder how much anti-spell stuff you could actually do, because you obviously can't use Galakrond stuff, so most of it would be inert. A whole bunch of fun decks you can come up with for this, but I'm just too lazy to do it now, I guess. Renounced Darkness just ruined my month, because if I was going to commit to it, then at least let me get Legend with it. Or if I'm not going to commit to it, then I could play all these fun decks. But it did neither one, because I still played as it, but then I couldn't do anything, even if I played perfectly, because it kept cucking me with the bug. So there's nothing I can do. That is what... I never make excuses in anything, but that's one legitimate excuse. I couldn't even play the deck, because it was bugged half the time, at least, where it would give you classes you couldn't use. That was totally bullshit. And I still won a lot of games, but I guess either they didn't involve using it or whatever. I got lucky, I guess. This is the best format to do it in, too, aside from, I guess, using it originally when it first came out. This is pretty important to do, but I'm pretty close to dead, too. He's gonna get some kind of crazy avenge type shit.
Job's done.
I'm still not necessarily dead, but I don't have enough defensive stuff really in my hand. Can I choose War Thunder? Yeah, I'll put that on the... I'll put that on the poll, I guess. Or I could actually start doing some games like that on Wednesday, just random games or request games, because now I'm not going to be playing chess on Wednesday, so I can kind of do whatever I want with that one. Yeah, okay, I'll count that. That's fine. I might move it to Wednesday, though. Let me think. I guess it doesn't matter. I guess what would be the difference in those 2 days? Like Wednesday could be games I've already played that I want to play a little more. Like it could be Five Nights at Freddy or whatever, random thing. Or Clash Royale. Or then Saturday could be something I've never played before, which that would be. I guess they could be interchangeable. Next week, Wednesday, you're back at school. Okay, let's see. We'll go here. Well, I'll do it either way. I just don't know when. 7. I'm still not dead. Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting to update those. Summon a random 3-cost minion. Give it charge. Fuck's sake. I can't believe I'm getting farmed at bronze here. What even is it? Is it like one of those games where you go around and shoot stuff in like a jet, or it'll be like World of Tanks? War Thunder. I did like World of Tanks, but the way they introduced it is so bad. Like you have to play against bots the whole beginning episode, which was so stupid. But yeah, like Battlefield, I've never really played too much. It's gonna be a little bit underwhelming. I was so excited too to see the fact that War Thunder is better. I was so excited to see that it has a death rattle too. I am a fan of this twist format. It's just like it either doesn't last long enough, or somehow obviously they haven't bug tested it at all, and also they also took a break between the last one. Maybe they won't do that every time. Hopefully not. I don't see the point of leaving it inactive for a month. You'll stream it? Okay. The first 2 games you play against other people. Yeah, that's what they said in World of Tanks, though. You technically can play against other players, but it doesn't let you. Like, or there aren't enough of them or something. Or against AI, not people.
Magni versus Brand.
That's always a good telltale sign. Whenever I do really good in a game my first time playing, clearly it must not just be, oh, I'm so innately skilled and I'm gifted and everybody else sucks because they're low rank. It's actually you're playing against bots. That happened like in Spellbreak. I'm playing Spellbreak for the first time before it goes offline, like in December of last year. Something like that. And then, oh, I get rank 1 in my first ever game. And it's like, wow, I got first place. That's like playing Fortnite and getting rank 1 in your first game, which isn't that big of a deal. Sure, it's possible, but then it turns out, oh, most of the people in that lobby were bots, so that's why. The first 2 games are so you can get an understanding. Yeah, that's fine. There's just something weird about the way they did it in that game.
Hello, stranger.
I like how they change all these weird values, like from a 1-1 to a 1-2. Like, wow, what a transformational thing. You play British? Let's see. I don't really want to coin it out, but I kind of want to. His hand's already depleted. Okay, dude. I also hate American low-tier planes. They put 50 cals on everything. That's still a pretty good trade. This guy's deck looks almost worse than mine, but I shouldn't speak too soon. There is some defensive-minded stuff in here, too. I just don't always get it when I need to. If I had more time, I could have done a lot of fun things this month, but it's too bad, I guess. But I'm stuck in with the 7.7 Browning. There's so many multiplayer games that I just haven't played because it does feel sort of Haunt Lifesteal. When Cthulhu gains attacker health, this does too. A lot of people playing that just very boring vanilla Cthulhu type stuff. That's one of the worst cards actually in the game is Cthulhu. It's such a boring, or at least the way they handle it. The effect is okay, but it's like, it's so insular. Like, oh, only these, it's like a Yu-Gi-Oh archetype. People who love Cthulhu would love Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, it's specific. these cards only work with this card and they only have value with this card. And outside of that, they're not really that fun or interesting to use. So it's easy to make decks like that because it's very, you know, the synergy makes sense, but there's no other value to it. I'm a fan of like base values. Like this card is just good, period. It's well statted. It has a broad effect that's good in a lot of situations. Yeah, like the Black Knight. Exactly. Destroy taunts. This guy's an evergreen card, although his statting and cost is totally different. Okay, so I have absolutely no recourse against what he's doing. Even though I'm mocking his deck as being shit, apparently mine is even worse. You have Farm using this, worse than Renounced Darkness, even when it wouldn't work. This makes you realize, like, the same thing, like, with Hardcore Classic. I won't stop ranting about that. Like, you could have done that all along, but oh no, there's this fun gimmick like a mod, or oh, there's these servers now. You could have always done it. This is the same thing. Like, you could always do this stuff in Wild, kind of. They've changed certain things, so you know, it's a little bit different, but actually, technically, I wasn't dead there, but I just kind of gave up. But, you know, you could do this stuff in Wild, so it shows you how many fun decks there are to do anyway, but you have to force people to do it for them to actually do that. Like, oh, let's use only class cards and see what the best deck we can make with it is. But nobody would ever do that except for people like me, which is a very small percentage of people. You didn't even need to do that. My Sea Hurricane MKIC does have 4 20mm on it. That shit tears through planes so easily. Yeah, maybe the type of game that's punishing for new players, but that's understandable. Oh, I guess I'm a little farther from the 1,000 as I thought. That would be pretty cool, though, because of how much I've split between different accounts and stuff over time. That would probably be my first 1,000 hero. I have the Golden Warlock one. I don't know why I do that. Like, I have all these different accounts, and then I have, like, this tendency to just disenchant everything, or basically hurt and sabotage my own collection for no reason. Let's just try to win a couple games. I thought I'd be able to get a little farther than this. There's obviously better ways to do this, but I guess the point isn't for it to be good. The point is for it to be thematic, that you're trying to flip it as many times as you can, which would be very strong. I just can't seem to do it because I'm not able to survive long enough, or I'm not getting the combo cards. I'm really not getting the Brewmasters at all. It's weird. Why they gotta ruin it with this effect, dude? Like, it's a cool thing, but that should be its own format. That should just be the Tavern Brawl. Why they have to... Does that mean that's happening in Arena, too? What a dumb thing to just force onto people.
It's time for a little blood.
Were they trying to do it like the 7 Deadly Sins do? The Yogg-Saron is Christian-inspired? Yes, Sargeras' effect is pretty underwhelming. Even though I've never used it, I'm still shocked by how they... Hey, of all the things, the most badass character in the history of the universe, the ultimate antagonist of the whole Warcraft universe. Oh, summon 2/3/2 imps like the portal that you had 10 years ago or however many years ago. Like, it's a good value effect, don't get me wrong. It's just not that interesting to me. This could turn out to be very dangerous, and it's always very stupid to do that against a hunter, of all things. We're playing for the Twilight Drake. We're playing Handlock. That was pretty boring too, but that was the best thing I could come up with for whatever, trying to support Renounce, to try to get to the point where you can play it, or in case you don't get it.
Put this apple on your head. The light
Come on, at least give me a couple wins with this. Good time to brawl, but I don't have brawl. Or wait, did he just forget to attack with that, or maybe I missed it? So we'll get rid of that. Of course, the AoE explosion from this is gonna... I just can't survive long enough, even though I have Justicar and some of these defensive cards. Weird. Although the strength of this deck was never to actually do that. But now at least if the Iron Juggernaut is like this with the Death Rattle in Wild, I can do a lot of shit with that too. That would make it at least slightly better. Although it's still generally pretty bad. So Cleave would still be pretty good. And it would get this dude down to 2. So that should be pretty much perfect. I almost have to use my armor, but I guess I still won't. Getting to draw cards is kind of suicide. It's the kind of opponent that you don't mind playing those even on a dead turn and not getting the value out of it. Because you're not really going to... You know, you're not playing for synergies. You're just forced to play it for the board. It's a very hard thing for people to learn. I remember back in the day, it's like, no, I want to save it for my combo, but you're not going to get your combo because you're not going to survive. Why wouldn't you go phase here, dude? What the fuck are you doing? Okay, this is good because you need the armor, even though whenever this deals damage, you gain that much armor. If you can deal with it, I'm dead anyway. I would have been dead anyway too, but I guess you don't know what I have. But there's so many other fun things you can do. Like, can you use... No, you can't use Explore on Goro because you couldn't use Elise either. So obviously the Ungoro stuff would be out. Warriors do have some super... Yeah, Warriors and Warlocks are my 2 favorite classes. Not because of their playstyle or anything else. Although that's obviously part of it anyway. But over time, they've gotten so many fun cards. Like Renounced Darkness, Explore on Goro, Fires of Zinazari. All these things that affect your deck so much. Let's see. We kind of have to keep doing the hero power because if I don't... You know what, though? He's not really punishing me for doing this. So this amount of armor will be good. And so even if you trade in, we get another taunt. It's amazing that he didn't win this, though. Like, why wouldn't you just go face? He's a hunter in name only. Why do so many people use that card back? It makes me seem like makes me think they're bots or something. It's always the gear one that they subliminally imply or admit that they're bots, like that. That guy's obviously better than he normally is because he's normally like a 2/7, I think. Right? I can't even remember. They changed shit around so much. There was this nice little Reddit post that showed like these are the only 12 cards or however many cards that have never changed in the history of the game. And obviously, like, from when it came out, I can't remember actually what they were, but very few, like, it's got to be, like, Twisting Nether is a good example of good card design. Even though it seems like maybe a little too strong for the time when the game first came out. I guess it arguably should have costed, like, 10 or something. I gotta maybe discover a taunt would be a good case. That's not so bad. That's not so bad. Fuck's sake. Still a little bit scary, but if we can drag the game out. See, the Iron Juggernaut has very little value here, though. It's more just about surviving. It's ironic because that's how you would use Renounced Darkness in other decks. Like, you're playing for control, you're playing for the long game, and you would only play it if you feel like it's not going to win you the game anyway, and you're going to get rushed down. So you may as well play Renounced to try to survive the aggro. Which is a weird use of it, but that's the only time it was ever used, like, in the meta. And even then, you would just probably have one of them in there as a gimmick. I don't think... you'd really be wanting to do that. It's just a last resort. Or maybe if you don't get what you're going to need to win a matchup anyway, even if it's not aggro. But then presumably you're going to lose that anyway. Okay, we could brawl here, which would be pretty good. Brawl and use the armor, I guess. You could almost return that to your hand. Or maybe, yeah, maybe I shouldn't use the armor. Because that's going to be guaranteed to give me a certain amount. Just do that, hope that I win it. Even if I don't, he's only going to hit me for 1. You can play that again, get the armor from it, get the... It's weird how they choose to do this. Like, let's do an old school format, but let's change it by putting stuff that's going to ruin it or sort of just make it very... I don't know. Like, this is going to have way too much impact. Some of these cards are going to be way too good for what you have. It'll get people to buy packs of cards that they've already gotten, or like some of them can be the same. We could flip the Juggernaut now, but I'm not really worried about it in this kind of matchup. We just need something we can play right away. Play this. I should almost just play something like, you know what, fuck it, we'll use it on this guy. It's such a flexible effect. We can just keep farming taunts and farming the armor. It's kind of a bad incentive because it'll be like, oh, you should choose the highest one to gain the most armor, but then you also have to choose the lowest one so you can play it the same turn too. Yeah, this deck I don't think was ever really good. It's possible some decks had the card in there, Iron Juggernaut, but it was never like, you know, you based your deck around that and it was really good, unless I just missed that part. But it's impossible because I've always been a fan of it. Like when it first came out, nobody even used it, I swear. This Yogg thing was a bit of a surprise. Why do that in the middle? Not have work? I did have to work, but not really too long. Or it's kind of late for me now, so I wouldn't do anything now like that. Yeah, what really ruined my work schedule was playing chess all those days. Like, I would play these 14-hour sessions and have to do work at the same time in the middle and stuff. You left early. Yeah, that wasn't too long, though. That was only like 2 hours. Erathian is cool.
I must remain hidden to learn free.
That could be interesting in this format, too. That kind of chicken out of trying to explore too far, and so we'll go in next time. I should chicken out next. You play chess at work? Oh yeah, absolutely. While working all the time, because there would be no other way to have enough time to do that shit. Doing like 14-hour sessions and all this kind of nonsense. Whoops, I've misclicked a couple times actually. There's something weird that's been happening lately. I was clearly trying to do the flip effect.
Engaging TC-130 into dislocator.
You like your colleagues? I often don't have them now because in the past I haven't minded them, but because I kind of do it on my own, like I said with the, you know, like it's sort of freelance, you know, doing project by project, so I typically don't have to worry about that. So we'll heal for a lot if we just simply brawl this. I can't imagine this is going to be too bad. And I can still do the shield main, which is not really a play that registers in my mind because I'm used to this being a 6 cost. Okay, that's even better. That's even better. This guy totally deserved to win, and he would have won. But it's just a case where he was able to... he didn't go face when he should have gone face. At least we won one game. I guess there's not really that much I feel like doing. I kind of wanted to try some other deck. Like, let's see what cards they can't be targeted. Yeah, now we'll learn from his mistake and go phase. Can we do something with the guy again? It kind of discourages the flipping even then. No, it still doesn't though, because you can only get the death rattle once, so you can't let him die for good. But obviously with Zola and stuff, it'll have a certain value too. Who do you ever talk to then? Wouldn't work be boring? I mean, I talk to people outside of work. Like, it does, oh yeah, perfect way to win too. Or if I had the Dr. Boom, I could say, here comes the boom. Yeah, it's not really that kind of a job that you are really talking to people a lot, except for maybe figuring out what they want you to do exactly. Get all this gold they're just showering me with. What you deserve for playing such a gimmicky, weird deck. I can't think of what else I would really use, yeah. I'm thinking of those anti-spell ones, but I don't think there's too many anti-spell minions you can use here. Unless they added some with the Cameras of Time. Or they probably made a lot of ones better. The ones that you would even be able to play. So God, the Slitherer will be like a 12-12 now. They just do all these random buffs. That one day I played like nothing but druids. The maybe the first renounce day. Or no, that might have been the second one. You only work for one. No, it's for various people. Like if somebody needs a project done, you know.
Honor, made to fit.
It's not a bad curve, but this is where the Brewmaster can be annoying. Like I don't want to play him, but I kind of feel like I have. Oh, not the Jade. Can't beat the Jade with this. Apparently, I could beat it with a Renounce, though, according to my phone. I could beat it with that, or I could beat it without playing Renounce. But it turns you almost into an aggro deck. I mean, again, nothing's ever going to stop me from playing Renounce Darkness. It's just I thought I would enjoy it more here, and I might have if I could actually play it, but it wouldn't let me, so that's the game's fault. Unironically, not even that I'm salty or anything, it's just a waste of the whole month. I was just stunned last time. Like, it's one thing, okay, the first time, it was the beginning of the month, there were a bunch of clowns at Blizzard, they don't know what they're doing. But there's no way that you can do that 3 weeks in a row. It's like the 20th of, or what was it, like the 17th of the month, and you're still doing that shit.
No more niceties.
Yeah, I could even start a branding like, oh, if you want channel art to make your channel pop out, go to me and I'll give you something like this. Like I took the Kaiba thing. This is pretty awesome. I took the Kaiba art where he's like, you're a third-rate duelist with a fourth-rate deck, talking to a little girl across the table, and like all angry and stuff. Because Kaiba's such a dick in Yu-Gi-Oh! That is like the perfect translation of it, at least. You could do that with like every card game universe, I guess. And it takes Falric's line from the Halls of Reflection, where he's like, the children of Stratholme fought with more ferocity. He's kind of a very dark line. Not just that, like, we know that's the case of what happened, but he's like taking pride in it. He's reveling in what he did. Okay, we're basically just screwed. Come on. Although he might have overextended and flooded the board a bit too much, so now it's going to be a case where you're not going to be able to play the Jades anymore, or I don't know. This is hard if he gets some cycling in his deck, if he's able to get the Gadget Zan guy out here. At least we won one game. I didn't think that would be the accomplishment here. Your next choose one card has both effects combined. Not really the best thing to combo with it. Silithid were presented in a pretty badass way, honestly. The way they're scraping up the Kalimdor so much, getting all the way up to the Southern Barrens. Like their presence almost feels as ominous, if not more so, than the Scourge. With how like the Scourge were at least more obvious. That's the whole irony of it. Arth is the Lich King, and Ner'zhul, this master strategist, his minions are more mindless than the bugs under the ground. The Silithid have more a sense of purpose and strategy with what they're doing, burrowing into the ground, making all these outposts in these different zones. They have a foothold in more zones in Kalimdor than the Scourge do in the Eastern Kingdoms. But even though they look like these mindless bugs burrowing through the ground, they're actually better strategically than even the Scourge. For these mindless zombies wandering around who are apparently being sort of held back by the Lich King because, oh, the goodness in Arth is some kind of BS that they came up with later. Like, oh, without the Lich King's control, the Scourge would wash over these lands and kill all living things, because that's totally not what Arthas was trying to do in the first fucking place. Like, what do you mean? That's what the Lich King's trying to do. He's trying to make everybody serve him. That's probably the dumbest thing they said in the whole universe. Like, he's not holding back. He's trying to do what he's trying to do, and he did very well. Like, he took over lots of Northrend. He took over the Plague Lands. Like, he was doing so good. What do you mean? But oh no, if you kill Arthas, now the Scourge become a real danger. That makes him look like a clown. Like, he's supposed to be this badass, you know, he's the Lich King, but no, he's actually hurting them. They'd be better if you just let them roam free. That makes no sense at all. Because Ner'zhul, I mean, of course, they wrote Ner'zhul out of the story, but he's this brilliant strategist who can almost see the future, and he's doing all these amazing things, and he's outmaneuvering the Burning Legion, and he's clowning, he's clowning Illidan and Vosh and Kel'Thas, all combined forces. He's able to do all these crazy things, but then he's gonna get clowned by the fact that, oh, has some good left in him. Those two things don't really have to be at odds with one another. Man, I'm getting clowned too. You see that a lot with stories that go on for a long period of time. Like, I'm sure with Star Wars, there'll be like a million retcons that diminish the lore. Like Darth Maul, right? Darth Maul gets cut in half at the end of The Phantom Menace, and he's like the title villain of the movie, and that's the payoff. But oh no, he didn't actually die. He survived, and then he went on to become some cartel leader or whatever. It's like, yes, that continues the story and gives them more material to work with, even though it recycles the material already there. But it's dumb because it diminishes that whole movie. So you're trying to tell me that that's a satisfying ending to the movie. You sit there for 2 hours watching The Phantom Menace, and oh, this guy didn't actually even die. So what a satisfying ending. That's so stupid. Or like Avatar is a great example of that. Spoilers for The Way of Water, I guess, since it's so new. But still, the ending of The Way of Water is so dumb. I actually cringed and rolled my eyes in my seat as I'm watching that. I was watching with somebody and they were cracking up. It's like, because I used to review movies even sort of professionally. Oh, welcome back. And not only does Quaritch not die, not only did they recycle him again for the third movie, but it's just so like, they shouldn't have even recycled him for the second movie in the first place. Just come up with a new villain. He wasn't that important of a character. He died so they're diminishing the fact that he died at the end of the first movie, right? He was the villain in the first one, but that's not enough. Now they also recycle him again. So both movies have an unsatisfying conclusion as far as the villain is concerned. He doesn't die, or no, he does die, but then he comes back in the sequel. Then he doesn't die again. It's such a bad writing decision. They're going to try to turn him into Darth Vader, and now, oh, he'll come and help them in the next movie because of his son. I don't know. I just thought that was totally trash. Bro thinks he's Darth Vader. Kill that, that's fine. Or yeah, now they're making fun of it like, oh, part 3 is gonna introduce the Fire Clan. What is this, Avatar? Oh wait, it is. I mean Avatar The Last Airbender, because that was all about the clans and stuff. He's gonna compete with M. Night Shyamalan for that shit. Which people hated that movie, whatever, the live action Airbender. Or yeah, that could have been my joke. I haven't been this disappointed in an Avatar since M. Night Shyamalan's version. Since that 2007 M. Night Shyamalan movie, which I don't even know when it came out. I kind of miss doing that. If I was a bigger channel, I would go back and review movies now on a regular basis. Or you know what's happened? There's so many of these channels that like sit there and react with face cam, cult of personality, to full movies. They'll sit there and watch and they'll cut it up, obviously, edit it. But they're actually just sitting there like movie reaction channels. That's such a dumb thing. They're not reviewing it, they're just reacting to it, which often is not the same thing. Like they're just going scene by scene and wow, I screamed at that scene, or I find that aspect kind of dumb. Okay, last game. I guess we didn't get it even past bronze rank 10, but I do like what they did to the Juggernaut at least. So I didn't enjoy this month of Twist at all, but part of it was just the fault of the bug itself. at least I have a good excuse. Like, oh, I would have totally pushed for legend. I actually wanted to see how far I can go, but it just can't go anywhere.
Choose soon.
At least people are using sort of unique and different things.
You want to cast a spell? I want to cast a spell.
Yeah, I hate doing this whole double stream thing too on Sunday. I always like to combine them together, like when I switch categories. But you can't do that with console because, or at least it always crashes my stream when I do that. Do you make advertisement for people or give them advice? Kind of, not exactly. Or yeah, you could say that in certain capacity, yeah. Like ideas for like what a good marketing thing is, like how they should, you know, slogans, logos, things like that. It's similar to like the YouTube stuff, so I should be good with that now. Like, how can you market yourself as a gamer? Show a good thumbnail, come up with a good title, things like that. I was always interested in writing, but I'm only good at it in short form. Whenever I try to write something like if I try to write a book, it's a lot harder for me. I'll come up with a few good lines here and there, but that's what I always try to do in my titles, actually. I come up with some memorable quote for all my Twitch titles, or at least I'm rip off other people's like lines from movies and stuff and just adapt it to chess or something like that. No one said goodbye horses this much since that Hugh Lazarus song. One of my first times playing chess, I think, on my old channel. I try to never use the same title twice, but I'll end up forgetting because of how much I stream. So it is possible it'll happen by mistake, actually. Of course, I have my VOD saved and stuff, but one feature they should have on Twitch is when you change categories, it doesn't save your title. It only saves the first one. So when your VOD's there, you don't think it matters? Don't think what matters? It should save like your second. Oh, like if I reuse one? Yeah, just in principle, I kind of don't like to do it, but I always hate when people, even big streamers, they'll do like these very lazy titles. Like XQC does that a lot. He'll just like do random numbers and letters like ha ha ha, like he thinks it's funny, or they'll put no effort into that. Like, dude, you're making a living off doing that. You can't come up with a creative or funny line just once to start the stream. Yeah, and they might use the excuse, well, they stream so much, but oh look, so do I, so do a lot of people. That's no excuse. Doesn't have to be anything crazy, just like something more than like, or like a lot of people use generic titles, like, oh, I'm playing this game, like that's it. They'll just put the name of the game in the title. Even when I was so monotone back in the day, I would still have some nuance with that, I guess. There's little things like that. Hikaru choked pretty hard. I watched that Magnus Hikaru Speed Chess Championship. He was up by like 3 points, which you might say, you know, that means he played well. But once you're still pretty. No, I know that. I mean, my style though was more like now at least I talk more and stuff. Back then I would be like, it's hard to explain, but I would just be very much to the point of like what I was doing. But yeah, Hikaru was up 3 points and then he choked it hard and then ended up losing. He's trying to do his best Nepo Ding impression from the World Chess Championship. You know, people defend that and say, oh, well, he's Magnus. But if you were to tell me that, oh, Hikaru would be up 3 points on Magnus in the first place, you'd say, oh, there's no way in hell. But if he was, which he was to his credit, then you got to finish him off. He obviously got overconfident. It's a high level criticism, but I think that would have been his one chance to do it. even with the home court advantage of being able to use a mouse as the full-time streamer that he is. I think people sort of overrate that too. When people say like, oh, well, see, being a streamer didn't hurt Hikaru, but he was already 2,800, you know, at one point in his career, ranked 2 in the world before he ever started streaming. So he hasn't gotten better since streaming. He stayed about the same. The real thing that streaming would hurt is like, you look at people who could have become better, like Anna Cramling's a good example. Anna Cramling was on the trajectory of plenty of grandmasters because she was only like 20 years old. She was 2175, or maybe she was even younger. And then she just, you know, you flatline. You're not going to get better while streaming. And so it's about breaking new ground. Given her age, given her family connections, both her parents are grandmasters, all that resource reference, she could have probably been a grandmaster. She was the perfect candidate for that. I find her voice annoying. But yet that just kills your effort. That's what's kind of sad. So the next generation of players are going to be streamers. Like, why should I try to be world champion? Why should I try to be a grandmaster? I'll just be a 2100 and then just dick around on Twitch and make money doing that. And I'm not saying it's that easy, but it really hurts the competitive angle of the game, which is more so the fault of chess in general, just not being rewarding and lucrative enough. So it's not really the fault of Twitch. It's an outlet that I guess didn't exist before. So it's a very strange characterization for chess. I think that's because English isn't her first language, so maybe she struggles with it a little bit, or not even struggles, but like she has to. Maybe that's what it sounds like to me. Like she's kind of putting it on a little bit. Romanian. I think that's the Botez. The Botez sisters are Romanian. Anna is like Swedish, I think. I can't remember. Let's see, because her parents were both grandmasters, so I should know that actually. Is a Spanish-Swedish chess player. And her mom, interesting fact, is the first female grandmaster ever. Not the women's grandmaster title, but the first woman who was, wasn't she? In 1992, she became the fifth, my bad, not the first. The fifth woman to earn the actual GM title. And now she's rolling in her grave, even though she's still alive, shaking her head in shame that her daughter is cloud chasing Twitch streamer. The people who deserve the credit don't get it, who actually do something like that. Okay, we can do this, go face. Let's get to bronze rank 9 at least. I didn't get this Hardstuck even in Wild. I would get to silver. Look how long it takes though even. Didn't I win like a couple games? Maybe I only won like one game. Yeah, what I'll do is I'll take a break for a while because obviously I failed my format so much in terms of chess. And then I'll come back once I've studied a bit off stream or whatever. Not saying like that's something I should have to do, but I obviously... It's not the right environment, I guess. Which also, that's not an excuse either. I just couldn't do it, so... It just annoys me so much because I always stand for that principle. Like, anybody can just sit there and just think and play at a high level, 1500 plus, but I just couldn't maintain it. I did it for stretches, so people can always look at that and say, it's not even about being bad, it's about being inconsistent. I could be terrible, and then I could be great. I could be to 2,000, and then I could lose to 1,000. Like, these weird moments. So I don't know if I'll even go back to lit chess or if I'll do like variants. I'll just kind of have fun with it actually for now, which is what I wanted to do originally. Now I'll do it not because I reached a good standpoint, like, oh, I'll get to 2,000 and then I'll do it for fun. I'll play for fun because I've earned the right. Now it's like I failed, so now I play for fun in shame and in anger. I'm seething. But what I wanted to do is actually play like a different chess game like on Steam every week. Like we could try, there's so many cool ones. whether it be 3D chess or VR chess or some other battle chess, like some old school thing. So I might actually do that. I'm getting sick of playing on these sites, actually. Like, what's the point? But I could try to get to 2,000 on the chess as well, because I'm already 1,700, which is weird. Like, it's a 30-minute format, but still. That was a very impressive, surprising thing, I guess. Just compared to how unimpressive I've been on chess.com generally. Okay, hurry up, dude. Even when we win with this, we're not going to win because of the thing, of the gimmick. We'll win despite it, like with Renown. So we'll win with Draxus and all this other stuff. But we won't even get Renounce off that game. We may as well milk this and try to get the bombs out of it. I kind of want Major Domo to die, actually. Yeah, you're not getting benefit of the death rattle, but at least you're able to basically get that at the end, but you're still... That's why Zola is so good, because you could copy it, get the death rattle, and then still play it again and get it again. And obviously there'll be all kinds of stuff you can combo with to get the benefit of the death rattle too. Like just trigger a friendly minion's death rattle on command. But that should be a win condition for this card, but then people will still resign is the problem. I'm not trying to BM, I'm trying to blow you up. Yeah, I'll have to do a lot of thinking for this Wednesday format, what I want to do with it. And that opens up Tuesday as well. Like I said, I don't have to just play on these sites in the same way over and over. I can do whatever I want. Or no, oh, fuck. I was trying to wait for the bomb. I forgot. Okay, well, that was kind of uneventful. We get to rank 9. Yeah, the renouncing was sort of a bust. This was okay. I guess I thought it would be a little bit better. And so just try to think, like, what other decks would I even have done with this? That would have been cool. Like, can't be targeted. Is there something more that you could do? You could do all the neutral ones, and you could do that. Yeah, so that's pretty underwhelming anyway. So basically, it sucked, but not entirely because of the format itself.